What was your favorite reaction from the fans of the series? Maybe something you didn't even expect?
Obviously, I could never predict where they're gonna go with the theories, you know what I'm saying, the fan theories. I gotta admit, the run, I feel bad for Wyatt, but the degree to which him becoming the man and the cap that everyone loved to hate, and sort of the memes that were made on it, like there was one guy who every week did a different captain. I can't repeat them on this thing, but calling him captain everything other than America, that was a trip because it just exploded and it just seemed like almost like the dominant thing that came out of it.
They will never let a black man be Captain America.
So you pleasantly surprised at how well people are responding to the themes and the topics that we really embedded in the storyline. And they seem to be responding very well to those. And that was the most important thing for all of us making the show, was that, there was a great water cooler conversation that was happening at the same time. And of course, with the twists and turns that we were building in, that water cooler conversation was even more pronounced because, we were taking it sideways and then we went the other way. And so the fact that people have embraced it in such minutia is fantastic. That's a conversation. And, that was the intention, was to start a conversation, keep a conversation going, because this is a conversation that should never stop.
So at the end of the series, we get this title card that says Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And I had a lot of questions about this because I was like, okay, so what does this mean for Bucky? He's keeping the Winter Soldier thing. Now we finally got Sam as Captain America. Is there anything you can kind of reveal about what that title meant? Because a lot of fans had a lot of questions about it.
It's funny, like I'd have to ask Marvel if they expected people to be as triggered by the Bucky part of it, the Winter Soldier part of it. Meaning, I think, if this is my opinion, when I first saw it, it was the idea from Marvel. I think the spirit of it came from simply wanting to honor the journey of the series. And had they said Captain America and James Bucky Barnes, the poetry of what this series meant might not have landed through something as simple as text. It's hard to capture what this meant. So I don't at all think they're implying. I believe personally, and I only know as far as what we did on this series, Bucky has gone through his battle and his test and has now emerged with a clean slate. And the Winter Soldier, in my opinion, is gone unless something else happened, right? I don't think that the saying Captain America and the Winter Soldier was intended to even trigger the fans in that way. It was just, the spirit of it was to show this evolution that a new Cap is born. They wanted to keep some of the title intact so that you would get that evolution.
Nice job, Cap.
Thanks.
I can say that it was thrilling to be able to put Captain America. And we had built it, the decision of titles, that's a post-production thing. So you get to see the whole series and see where it wants to sit. So there was a lot of conversation about that title, the design of it, the nature of even how it came on, the subtlety of it, for all of it, where it came on after the tease and so on. So, these are very thought through. They're not random at all. And then somewhere, once we'd seen all six, I think it was probably Kevin who said, we should put it at the end. It really came out, the whole idea of it came out very organically. And to be able to put Captain America was, I think for all of us, kind of a proud moment.
Now this is more like it.
It's the same, but black.
So I'm curious about how you feel about John Walker's kind of journey at the end there, because he did have that redemption moment and we see him in his new suit and fans are wondering kind of like, did he get off too easy? Is everyone really cool with him by the series end? Is there anything you can tell us about kind of like where he's at the end of the show?
We tried to be careful with Walker and Wyatt took everything and made it so nuanced beyond, like there was no way to write the layers to Walker the way Wyatt conveyed them. Like he surpassed anything that you could try and do intellectually in your head. And we never judged John Walker. We never said he was the bad guy. We never said he was the embodiment of only bad things. There's definitely some iconography and some attributes about this country that we don't like that are embodied in him, but he is also the story of veterans, right, who sacrifice so much for this country, and this country may not even be capable of taking care of them the way they should. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So all those conversations are in the DNA of John Walker. And by the end of this thing, we didn't set out to say John Walker will be good or bad or redeemed by the end of this. We put him through this journey. And as he was cracking up, he had this, and mentally, he had this huge defining moment where the truth is, for all the flaws and craziness of him, in that moment when it was about taking on the righteous cause, he stepped up in that moment. At the same time, I don't think we let him off the hook. His career has been destroyed. For someone who has dedicated their lives to the military to get anything other than an honorable discharge, that's a big deal. And look what he went through. It's not like we didn't just say, oh, if you take it surface level, he got off easy. If you watch what happened to this man, you're not honorably discharged. You're lying to Lamar's family because you feel so much shame. You've gone half crazy to the point of no return and barely pulled yourself out of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that is easy journey. I think what Wyatt is able to do is sort of show that urgency and maybe that chaotic mindset at the end of how full-throatedly he's embracing where he's about to go in this black costume. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong, that it could feel like he got off easy, but I would not say he did.
Start lining up our buyers. Super soldiers might be off the menu, but we're about to have full access to government secrets, prototype weapons, you name it.
The finale gave us a big tease for Sharon Carter, who I loved seeing just like kick ass in this series, and her future as the power broker. How fun was it to veer off of the source material and craft her future in the MCU?
Well, it was great. You know, first of all, Emily is super deserving as both an actress and as a character. You know, it was also really great to kind of imagine her action sequences because I wanted them to be really muscular. And she worked very hard on the choreography of those. And it's a lot of her own stunts. There's very little stunt work in there that isn't her. So it's a testimony to not only her work, but her sort of badassery. And the other thing about, you know, the rollout of her as power broker was to keep that innocent face and, you know, to really sort of milk the, where are we going with this? Who is she? What is she doing exactly in Madripoor? And what is that about? So I think that was particularly fun because it was, you know, the intention was to keep it really close to our chest right to the end.
We had a blast with it because it's the Carter legacy, right, as sort of like the pristine family of the MCU, right? But also Emily has such, in my opinion, an innocent baby face, right? It was just a blast to write this character who comes from Marvel royalty and is expected to be the princess of Marvel and kind of looks like that, just chopping people's heads off. And also where it came from it wasn't like Marvel said, oh, we're going to destroy the Carter legacy. We sat down. When was the last time we saw Sharon? In Civil War, right? And what happened to her? She was completely abandoned by the world's intelligence agencies. What would she have to do? Hustle and fight and use her skills to stay alive. And to me, Sharon as a character was allowed to grow up, and the assumption she's going to just be good or bad, or that, you know, we've determined what her future is. No, she's now in a position where she can go on an interesting journey for good or for better or for worse.
Did you and Malcolm always know that tease was going to be the post-credit scene, or were there other options that you guys considered as the post-credit?
You know, I think we always knew it wanted to be there, but we tried it in other places. We tried different ways of doing it. One of the things that I think is terrific, not only about Marvel, but about the way I like to work, is experimentation is as big a part of how you find the right fit, how you find the best of the best. So I'm never afraid of really trying and putting, you know, just trying everything new, throwing it all out, building it all up again. So we did try different ways but it seemed, at the end of the day, we thought, no, let's just hang on right to the living end to finalize the end reveal. Now of course we revealed it through the fight, but we had a few different swings at that, and then this seemed to be the best of the best.
You're probably not going to be able to say anything about this, but there's been a report that you might be taking on Captain America to the big screen.
I don't know. Until Kevin tells me, I don't know.
Season 2, a lot of people are asking, is there anything in place right now?
I have not been informed, or if I was, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So that's when Kevin says it, then it is. You know what I'm saying?
You've been dodging these all day, huh?
Yeah.
It's my prerogative to ask. It's your prerogative not even to answer.
No, it's all good. I'm being pretty strict about not even the spoiler thing, because sometimes I try and be too cute, and I'm like, I was not as slick as I thought I was. So I'm spoiler free today.
I honestly don't know. Never believe the headlines is all I can tell you. You never know from Marvel what's as you well know, you never know from Marvel what they're going to do next. So it'll all be a surprise.